A tire can be defective for a number of reasons. It can be that it wasn't manufactured with the appropriate components. There are various ingredients that go into the manufacturing of a tire, various chemical compounds that are supposed to make that tire safe and make sure it doesn't fall apart and that it can withstand the elements of our environment. Oftentimes, tire manufacturers will, for lack of a better word, cheap out and not use the best ingredients that they can use or the appropriate amount of that ingredient because it's an expensive ingredient, and they won't put it in their tire, and therefore that tire will be more affected by the elements, by heat, for instance, in the southern part of the United States. So that tire will fall apart, unbeknownst to this innocent driver who had no way of knowing that that tire was not manufactured correctly. Another reason that a tire defect can occur is because of the way it was made in the plant. It has all the appropriate ingredients, if you will, but somebody messed up along the way putting it together. They did a half-assed job. They didn't put everything in the right place that it was supposed to go. For instance, there's cords that have to go appropriately on the inside of a tire. If they're not all put in the right position, the tire can fall apart. Another common reason for a tire defect is the pure age of that tire. Tires may look perfectly new on the outside because their tread is perfectly deep. You look at the grooves of the tire and they look nice and deep, so they're not worn out. But that tire may be sitting on a shelf for 13, 14 years before it's sold. Or it could be sitting in the spare position for 10 to 12 years before you ever use it. And us, the unassuming consumer who doesn't know anything about this, looks at the tire, thinks it's perfectly safe, goes to a dealership to have it put on or a mom and pop tire shop, and that entity puts that tire on and it had no business being on the car because it was too old. It was rotting on the inside even though it looked pristine on the outside, and that's a very common defect and a very dangerous one to be aware of.